I'm the Distressed Princess, and this is the January Chic for Cheap Challenge.
The host of this challenge is Christi over at Christi Creates, and her co-host this month is Sammy from Unicorn Dust Designs. Links for their channels will be down in the description box below, along with the playlist. The inspiration for the first DIY came from Kirkland's. It's a long farmhouse sign, and it came with a price tag of $60. I have this clearance poster frame from Walmart. It was only $4 that I think I can turn this into that farmhouse sign. And if you have ink and paper in your printer, then you can have a farmhouse sign. No one said that you had to use Cricut for everything, and I'm not going to do it this time. So I just went into Canva and printed out these letters, and I found the wreath, just Google images, and that's what we're going to use instead of vinyl. So then, of course, the first step is to remove all of the inside goodies from the poster frame. Be careful with the backing, because that is what we're going to be turning into our wall art. That's what's going to get painted. And the insert with the fake people pictures, you don't need that. I'm going to be painting this frame white, so I'm taping off the plexiglass. That's actually plexiglass, and it could be removed, but I went ahead and left it intact. Tape that off, and then I painted the frame 2 coats of Waverly white chalk paint. Now let the creativity begin. Using that same Waverly white chalk paint, I began painting the backing of the poster frame. And you see I started going horizontally first, which ordinarily I would do, but I don't know, something changed my mind in the way that it was going into the grooves of this cardboard, and I liked how it was kind of, I don't know, looking kind of worn, very farmhousey, very rustic. So I changed direction and started going in vertical strokes, and I did this all the way down the cardboard, and you can see where I left some places bare. So while the backing of the poster frame was drying, I cut out all of my letters, keeping to the black side, trying not to let any of the white paper show. Once the backing was dry, then I used this kind of light brown marker that I had to draw shiplap lines. And I found the center, which was about 6 inches, and I always draw my middle line first. So I drew that all the way down the cardboard at 6 inches. And then for the other planks, I decided to make those 3 inches. So then I measure out 3 inches from that center line and make a mark and draw my line on this side, and I'll repeat it on the other side. The lines I just drew kind of serve as a guide more than anything, because I'm going to go back in with Waverly Truffle brown paint and being not so careful as to be perfectly straight, because I feel like this piece is really haphazard in how it's coming together, and I'm liking it, and it's a lot of fun working this way. Once those rustic shiplap lines were completely dry, now I bring in all of my cutout letters and do a fitting, an arranging, making sure that they're spaced apart right, and crossing fingers that they are the correct size. And again, I used Canva to make these letters. It's a free thing you can get on your phone and your desktop. I have it on both, and it's awesome for designing. I just picked a font and typed the letters, and you can see I could fit like 2 on one sheet of paper. It was really fast and simple. Then I used decoupage or Mod Podge. It's the same thing. I have a big bottle of decoupage glue, and that's what I'm using to glue down the letters. So first, I put a layer of the Mod Podge down, and then I put the letter on top and tried to get it arranged. And be very careful, because this is just paper, and it will, once it gets wet with that Mod Podge, it will tear. So be very careful in where you lay them down first, because it's not easy to take them back up and move them. Hey, if you're enjoying this video, please drop me a comment down below, and remember to hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to grow this channel. I'm loving making these videos, so I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button and become part of my family. When everything is glued down, then go over the whole thing, letters and non-lettered parts as well, with your Mod Podge. You can see I'm kind of patting that decoupage on those letters, and that's to try to minimize the bleeding from the ink. By now, your frame should be dry and you can remove your tape. And finally, the last step in this DIY is to assemble the final product. Of course, making sure all the Mod Podge is dry first, and put your nice artwork back down inside and secure all the little clamps around the edge, and he's ready to go up on the wall. So here's the final look, and it only cost me $4. And even if you had to buy this poster frame at full price, it was only $15. So compare that to the $60 that Kirkland's wanted. This is a win. The next thing that inspired me at Kirkland's was these canvas barn prints, and they are a very large size, which I'll not be able to duplicate the size, but I can duplicate the print. And this is how you do it. Going onto the Kirkland's website, pick out the picture that you want and click on it. And when it comes up, you'll see that there are different angles of the picture. And you want to make sure you're clicking on the picture that is straight ahead, not this turned one, but this one, the one that is looking at it straight ahead. Hold your finger on the image for just a second, and you'll get a pop-up asking you if you want to save it to your camera roll. And you do want to save it to your camera roll, because then you can print it out. I printed 2 barn images, both of them size 8 by 10. Now, using the 8 by 10 canvases from the Dollar Tree, we're going to do a reverse canvas kind of thing. And the first thing you do is carefully cut the canvas off of the frame. And you want the canvas to stay intact because you're going to use that, but just cut the edges of it off and pull it off of those staples. Don't worry about the staples. You don't have to remove those. That would be tedious. So once the canvas is removed from the frame, then you'll trim the canvas down just using those edges that were folded around the frame as a guide. And also, you'll need to trim down your printouts. And here I'm just making sure that everything is going to fit together correctly because you don't want any of the canvas or the picture hanging outside of the frame. And here you have choices. You could stain or paint. I chose white paint just to try to match the farmhouse sign that I made before. So a couple of coats of white chalk paint, and now I've set that aside to dry. Now I want to attach the printout picture to the canvas, and I decided to use double-sided tape that I just got at Dollar Tree. I haven't used this very much, but in this project I learned that I think I love this double-sided tape. It was easy to use, it was easy to peel the backing off, and it works. Don't forget, when you're done with this video, make sure to hit the playlist down below in the description box and see what everyone else made. The last step in this DIY is to attach your picture to the frame, and I suppose you could hot glue the frame and put the picture on that, but for whatever reason I decided to put the hot glue on the picture first and then I put the frame down on top of that. So now they're not the same size as the big canvas prints at Kirkland's, but I don't mind that. I'm getting the effect of the pretty barn canvases this way anyway, and it only cost me the price of the frame, which was $1 each. Thanks for watching, everyone. In the new year, I'm going to have a lot of stuff upcoming, and I'm going to be posting 2 videos a week instead of just 1. And so more details on that later, and I hope you'll join me for more videos down the line. Bye.